He goes to school with a bald delinquent named Pac, who is a YouTuber with over 700,000 subscribers who does daily live streams. He pretends to be a cool, nice guy, but in actuality, he is just another bully Baldy who likes to step on weak ants. Viewers still flock to his channel, and using his influence, he launches another classmate named Rumi, who has no brain but was gifted with a good amount of makeup. He tells his audience to head over to Rumi's channel, as they also have a live model for them, which Rumi practiced her up on. This poor model turns out to be none other than Hobin, who is smeared with black and white paint alongside red lipstick. The entire stream makes fun of him and his stupid makeup, while Baldy simply laughs at him alongside the rest of his class. He then walks towards Hobin and tells him to smile for the camera in a very threatening tone, but the humiliated Hobin is barely able to fake a smile before running away to the washroom. As soon as the camera turned away from him, he washes his face viciously to try to get all of the paint off of his face before returning to the class, where he is immediately drop-kicked by a blonde guy named Snap, who is Baldy's cameraman. Snap doesn't have any bravado like Baldy or beauty like Rumi, but he is a strategist and uses his mind to piggyback on Baldy's success. He proceeds to kick Hobin relentlessly while he is on the ground, accusing him for not smiling in front of the camera as instructed. When Hobin finally has had enough and gives him a deathly glare, which scares Snap immediately, he stops. He keeps his composure and turns around to make sure Baldy has got his back, and Baldy tells him that Hobin can't even fight a mosquito. Meanwhile, Rumi checks her account and claims that just for that short stream, she was able to earn $200, which surprises Hobin as they barely streamed for 30 minutes and did absolutely nothing apart from yapping their mouths and insulting him. Hearing this, Snap also sits down and starts thinking out loud about how even he should open a YouTube channel and earn money, because Baldy doesn't share the revenue with him even though he is his cameraman. Snap finally gets up and walks up to Baldy, before telling him that he is thinking of opening his own channel and asks, what would he need for that? Baldy tells him that he can't really open a YouTube channel yet, as he is still below 18 years of age and will need someone's bank account who is above 18 to open it. He claims that he can't use his parents' ID as he once stole money from them, but then turns around towards Hobin and very rudely asks him whether his mom died yet. This really catches Hobin, as he never expected someone to be this cruel. Snap continues by saying that if his mom is not dead yet, then he should give him her bank account so that he could start a channel. Baldy and the others start laughing at this, while Hobin sits on the ground with curled fists, but doesn't have the courage to fight his bullies. Later that evening, he goes over to the hospital to meet his mother, who asks, what happened to your face? But he lies about how he fell over a set of stairs. Before going to the reception, where he learns that the weekly hospital charges are $200, he pays the bill before heading back to his part-time job at McDonald's, where he thinks about how $200 is what he earns in a week, whereas these terrible people who have rich parents and everything else in their life easily earn hundreds of dollars without doing anything in minutes. While he was feeling miserable, one of his beautiful new co-workers named Bonnie asks him, where is the Burger King foot lettuce? He directs her towards the deep freezer and Bonnie thanks him, while the other co-workers immediately start offering to help her retrieve the item, but she thanks them and moves on. This made him feel a little happy, but his happiness was short-lived, as Baldy enters the restaurant alongside Snapper while live streaming himself. He walks straight up to the counter and tells his audience that he has arrived at the restaurant to see the worker who has been blowing up on social media for her beauty. He then looks at Bonnie and tells her that he has got a challenge for her and shows her a burger, telling her to cook it under 30 seconds, otherwise she will have to give him his number. Bonnie doesn't know how to reply, when suddenly Hobin appears out of nowhere with the exact burger in the picture, claiming that he created it within 30 seconds, asking Baldy to leave as he is disturbing other customers. Baldy is surprised by this and doesn't say anything because he was on stream, but leaves the restaurant. That night, Snap comes over to his house and starts live streaming himself playing a game on his mother's account while forcing Hobin to cook ramen for him. He overhears Snap saying that one of the donations promised to donate $300 if he scored 30 kills. Hobin hears all this, with hatred burning through his heart as he spits inside the ramen to get back at him. While he was bringing the food back to Snap, he ends up tripping on the computer cable and the screen disconnects just as Snap was about to get 30 kills while the entire pot of ramen goes flying straight at his face. As they collide, Snap immediately gets up and starts kicking Hobin relentlessly, telling him to pay $300. While Hobin thinks about how miserable he must be to get beaten up in his own house like this, Snap ends up cursing his mother, saying that she deserved to get cancer. This turns a switch inside Hobin, who gets up with anger in his eyes and delivers a strong uppercut. Snap is surprised, but starts punching him back as the fight, while Hobin grabs some kimchi and slaps him in the face. Snap then grabs the pot and bonks him in the head before they start an all-out brawl with kimchi and pots, unknown to the fact that the light of the camera was still glowing and they were still getting streamed online. Later that night, with bruises all over his body and his entire room destroyed, he switches off the main circuit before heading back to sleep as he thinks about all the new expenses that he has to cover. The next morning, he is woken up by a caller who turns out to be Snap as he shouts at Hobin for uploading the video of their fight and tells him to delete the stream. Hobin has no idea what the hell he is talking about and tells him that the stream must have ended when he tripped over the wire. But just then, he realizes that the wire belonged to the monitor and not the CPU, which means that the screen got turned off, but the stream was still live. Snap cries about how the fight has been uploaded on YouTube and has gone viral ever since. He tells Hobin to give him the password, as it's his mom's account so he can't even delete it himself. Hobin immediately cuts his call and opens YouTube, only to see their fight on the front page and all the comments completely roasting them. He completely loses hope, as he thinks now not only his classmates but the entire world will bully him. He was about to delete it when he notices a comment claiming that he could get paid a lot of money for the views he got. He immediately checks his views, which are over 10 million in one night, which means he earned over $10,000 in one stand night. Back in school, everyone has already seen the video and start making fun of Snap the moment he enters the room. He realizes that he needs to get his ranking in the class back, so he decides to bully a nerd and slaps him on the head, only for the fat nerd to swing a backhand at his face before he jumps on top of him and starts punching him in the face. He looks towards Baldy for help, only to realize that he is laughing his ass off watching him get pounded. Meanwhile, Hobin walks out of the hospital by paying some additional fees for his mother. When he gets punched by Snap, he grabs his collar and starts asking for half his money, but Hobin breaks his eggs in half and tells him to piss off, as he won't pay anything. They start fighting in the middle of the street, and by the end of the evening, they both sit on a park bench where Hobin tells Snap that he isn't going to pay him a penny. But Snap reveals that he recorded their fight from a hidden camera and will upload it online while lying that this was all scripted, just like the viral fight video destroying Hobin's online reputation. He then proposes to Hobin that they should become a team and work together, as he has already been recording, editing, and uploading Baldy's videos till now, which is why he became so successful in the first place. He promises to be his producer and deal with everything, while the only thing Hobin will have to do is appear on camera. He thinks Hobin is just a dumb nerd and tells him that since he's producing the videos, he will get 90% money while Hobin gets 10%. It seemed like Hobin was about to agree, but says psych at the last moment and shows him the middle finger, telling him he is not as dumb as he looks, and starts walking away. Snap starts getting desperate, offering him 60% of the cut and then 80% before finally bending his knees and offering him the 90% cut while he takes 10%. Hobin finally turns around and asks, "What is your plan?" And Snap reveals that they will do live bully confrontations where Hobin calls out bullies and stands up to them in front of the camera, promising that this will make both of them very rich and that Hobin will never have to work or worry about bills again. The next morning, when he goes back to school, he is surprised to see that Baldy includes both him and Snap into his stream, as the viewers really wanted to see the guys from the viral stream. Baldy starts acting as if he is friends with them and starts using them to gain more viewers and subscribers before telling both of them to act normal and to greet the stream. Snap tells Hobin that he should do something, as this punk is capitalizing on their viral video, but Hobin tells him that this isn't the right time and that they should wait. Soon enough, Baldy was about to end his stream and tells the viewers that the giveaway winners will be announced soon, and the first prize is a full PC setup worth $2,000. Just at that, Hobin screams from behind and shouts that Baldy is full of and is lying straight to the viewers' faces, as it is all a scam. He shouts about how Baldy pretends to be a good guy in front of the camera, but actually he's just a bully who enjoys tormenting ants smaller and weaker than him. Hobin doesn't stop here and takes his shirt out to show a bunch of bruises as proof that Baldy has bullied him almost every day of school and has hurt him for no reason, and claims that he will be uploading everything to his channel, so they should check it out. People gather all around the classroom, thinking that Hobin finally lost his mind and is probably going to die today, while Baldy simply stares down at him with anger in his eyes. Snap is happy with whatever is happening, as this will drive Baldy's viewers to their channels. Instead, suddenly Baldy starts smiling and shows that the battery of his phone died and the stream ended a while ago, which means that all of this was in vain. Baldy pulls back his hands and delivers an insanely strong slap to Hobin's face and starts slapping him relentlessly while everyone watches from afar. Thankfully, Snap is smarter and anticipated this, so he already started the stream on their channel and starts recording Hobin getting a beating from Baldy. They start getting more than 33,000 viewers and a lot of subscribers, while the comments all seem to be against Baldy and his bullying. He keeps getting beaten up. But to Snap's surprise, instead of backing down, Hobin gets ready for a fight. This enrages Baldy, who shows off his big muscles and gang tattoos to intimidate Hobin, who trembles like a twig in the wind while thinking about the moves he has seen in the movies and hoping they would work out. Baldy starts making fun of Hobin's mother and her disease, which pisses him off, and he rushes in to tackle Baldy to the ground. But to no one's surprise, Baldy stays standing, as there is a massive weight difference between them. Baldy simply laughs and grabs Hobin before slamming him to the ground and knocking the air out of him. Hobin thinks about how fighting someone his own size was so much easier compared to fighting someone bigger and stronger. Just when he thought that his beating was over, Baldy looks at him and tells him that he is not done yet. He raises his fists to hit him some more, when a red-haired guy tells them to keep it quiet as he is trying to sleep. Baldy immediately turns around angrily and tells the guy to shut up before he gets a beating as well. But the guy simply raises his head, and it turns out that the redhead is Kim, who is a rising MMA star. This scares the daylights out of Baldy, who starts acting like a coward and apologizes for shouting and leaves the classroom. As Hobin lies on the floor that night, Baldy recharges his phone, glad that his battery died at such a lucky moment. But the moment his phone turns on, he is barraged by a slew of questions about whether the giveaway was fake, as he checks to see that the entire fight has been uploaded on YouTube. Hobin takes a shower and looks at his beautiful mug in the mirror, happy that he got the upper hand on Baldy, as right now they are trending on every social media platform, and generally the people are sympathizing with Hobin. Baldy tries to make an apology video, claiming that it was all a mistake, but ends up editing it wrong and includes the part where he smiles and talks about how his viewers are dumb enough to believe him. That was pretty much the end of his career for him. As he tries to bounce back by making videos donating to the farmers, doing more giveaways and trying everything to gain back his followers, nothing works, and his followers keep dipping by the second. He soon has less than 200,000 subscribers, while he used to have 700,000, and becomes completely irrelevant. Meanwhile, Hobin's channel blows up and he gets 100,000 subscribers in no time with only 2 videos on the channel. One day, Snap tells him that he needs to last in a fight more than at least 3 minutes, because that's when they will be able to put ads on the video and earn more money from it. The problem is that Hobin doesn't know how to fight. So that night he goes back home and starts searching up different martial arts when he stumbles upon a channel with 0 subscribers but a huge number of videos. He has no idea why would someone make videos for no viewers, but ends up watching one of them where the weird man named Sam wears a chicken mask and teaches him some of the basics for a fight. He doesn't think much it and goes back to sleep. The next day he quits his part-time job to focus more on his channel, and upon hearing this news, Bonnie walks up to him and asks for his phone number, as she wants to keep in touch. Hobin is beyond himself, as he can't believe someone as pretty as her would want to talk. The next morning, he goes back to school, but his entire attention is on his phone as he texts Bonnie with a creepy smile on his face. Snap slithers on his desk and asks what's up with him and whether he learned how to fight better. Hobin replies that he is trying to learn, but it's not that easy, when suddenly Rumi approaches them and asks whether they would want to stream together. Hobin and Snap are stunned to hear this and start salivating at the opportunity, but Hobin asks, why would she want to stream with them, as she is supposed to be Baldy's friend? She immediately changes teams and tells them she hates Baldy and that her viewers want to see Hobin on the channel. While they were being happy about their newfound respect, Baldy enters the room seething with anger, as Hobin is the one who destroyed his channel and his life. Suddenly, the advice given by the chicken man flashes in front of Hobin, and he remembers that an angry opponent is the easiest to deal with. Baldy takes out his shirt, ready for a fight, while Hobin is too scared to move. Baldy swings at him angrily but misses, which angers him even more. He pulls his fists back for another strike, but Hobin decides to face him straight on. Thankfully, Snapper immediately starts recording the entire deathmatch and makes fun of Hobin by saying that his camera is faster than Baldy's punches. Baldy stops at the last moment but threatens to take his revenge one day. The next day, Hobin waits out near a park for Snap to discuss where to take their channel when a couple stops by him and tell him that they are huge fans. Hobin starts feeling pretty good about it, but they end up completely robbing Hobin of everything he had. Snap arrives at the last moment to help, but gets slapped by a single punch while the guy grabs Hobin's phone and takes it with him. Hobin realizes that he can't let it go, as it has Bonnie's contact information inside, and Snapper eggs him on to fight the bully as the viewers are itching for another video. Hobin removes his cap and hoodie and announces that he is going to fight and win against that robbing hooligan. He follows the goon back to a karaoke bar where he was chilling with his girlfriend, and after collecting his courage, he tells the man to hand his phone back to him as he has something very important in it. The hooligan tells him to piss off before he beats him up, but Snap is recording everything, and even Hobin knows that this is way too good of an opportunity to let go of. Hobin starts remembering the chicken man and how he said that they should first figure out the dominant arm of their opponent. Hobin realizes that the hooligan must be right-handed because he is holding the mic in that hand. If your opponent is right-handed, switch over to the left side, making it hard for them to reach you with a punch. The hooligan stands up as he looks at Hobin, who seems ready to square up. He tells Hobin that he might not even be able to walk back once he is done with him, so it would be better for him to run away. But Hobin calmly remembers the wise words of the chicken man, who told him to stand in such a way where there is an obstacle on the right side, forcing them to use only their left hand, which would be easier to intercept. The hooligan jumps up for an attack as Hobin remembers that normal people move their shoulders a lot while punching, which gives him enough time to react, and he shoves his head right into the punch, blocking it literally with his face. This shocks everyone, as even after being hit full force, Hobin barely seems to be affected by this. This is because the punch is at its strongest when it is extended to its full potential. But if you end up moving your head into the punch, you prevent it from generating as much power. In this way, he can get hit in the face without really getting hit or feeling pain. Snap can't believe it, as he thinks Hobin is not even defending and simply taking the beating, while the chat wonders whether Hobin's brain matter exploded. Hobin, however, has a strategy as he remembers the chicken man telling him to basically keep his chin down and headbutt the fist. The fool. The hooligan gets pissed at his own incompetence and throws another wide punch, but Hobin is too late to react with a headbutt. But to his surprise, he barely moved out of the way, and the punch misses. This reminds him of the chicken man claiming that it's not possible for a normal human being to react perfectly to every punch. But it's also not possible for a normal human to hit every single punch if the target is moving around a lot. This technique is known as weaving, which is oftentimes used in boxing to dodge punches randomly and making it harder for the opponent to hit a clean shot. The hooligan gets even more mad and gives way to his emotions, punching wildly at every moment possible, while Hobin simply bobs and weaves to evade most of the punches, making the goon look like a total failure. Even the chat doesn't know what the hell is going on and whether all of this is scripted. The hooligan finally manages to make contact. But again, Hobin blocks the punch with his goddamn face, shocking the hooligan as he asks for his phone back one more time. He screams at the goon that he needs to text Boney, but the goon doesn't know what the hell he is talking about, and the fight resumes. He starts blocking the fists with his forehead once again, while Snap has no idea how the hell he is getting hit so many times. Even the goon is confused as he can't understand why Hobin isn't even trying to dodge. Hobin, on the other hand, feels extremely stupid for not watching the rest of the videos, because the only video he watched only talked about defense and how to block punches, which means that he has no idea what to do after that. He stands there crying about not knowing what to do, while Snap realizes that this is bad for the viewership. The Baldy fight was swift and conclusive, with explosive action, whereas this fight is being dragged down for too long, while nothing is happening except for the goon throwing punches and Hobin getting hit in the face. He realizes that they might lose viewers because of this constant repetition of the same moves and wonders whether he should intervene in between and stop the fight before they lose too many viewers. He was just about to switch the stream off when a familiar name erupted in the chat by the name of Kim. This is the redhead guy that studies in Hobin's class, who is on his way to become a young MMA sensation. He claims in the chat that all of them are stupid who think Hobin is losing his fight, as he bets that he would be the last man standing. The chat doesn't really think he is correct, but unlike those keyboard warriors, Kim knows what he is talking about and tells the chat that they need to pay closer attention to the goon's fists. According to him, the goon didn't realize the amount of damage he was doing to his own knuckles all this while because of the adrenaline pumping through him, but the moment the adrenaline dies out, he will start feeling an insane level of pain. Just then, the hooligan realizes that his fists have swollen up and a sharp pain enters his entire body as he starts rolling around on the floor while Hobin watches in disbelief. After the fight, they get outside where Snap realizes that Hobin's hospital bills might end up taking all of the money that they earned from this stream, but he thinks of it as an investment, as they earned a lot of new followers as well. Thankfully, Hobin gets his phone back and starts texting Boney, while Snap turns the stream off. That week alone, they got 1 million views on their channel, and even though they only had 4 videos, they racked over 25 million views on the channel in